Hello friends and welcome to today's video. So today is super exciting because I'm going to be making my all-time favorite drink. I'm basically obsessed with this drink. I drink it almost every morning and yeah, it's fantastic. So we're going to be making a vanilla cardamom latte. I'm going to be showing you how to make it with the espresso machine and then a little way to make it without an espresso machine. So yeah, it's gonna be super fun and let's get started. As always, we're gonna start with pulling our espresso shots. I'm using the Cafe Bustelo right now. This is the pre-ground espresso that I found to be the best quality from the store. Obviously, pre-ground coffee is never the ideal situation, but it's a whole lot easier to use at home than grinding your own coffee. So today this is what we're going to be using. So I normally just take about 2 scoops. My scoop is 7 grams. So I normally put about 2 scoops into my double shot holder. If you're wanting a single shot, you can always do 1 scoop into the single shot holder. Okay, so we're just gonna pull that double shot of espresso into whatever mug you want. I'm using this 16-ounce mug from Target. Okay, so once that espresso is done pulling, we're gonna put all of our delicious stuff right into our espresso. So first we're gonna put just a tad bit of vanilla. You don't need a whole lot, it's very strong. I just have the McCormick small batch pure vanilla extract, but any vanilla works. So just put a little bit of that in. Next I'm gonna put a little bit of simple syrup. Now if you have like a vanilla coffee syrup, you can use that instead. Do like 1 to 2 pumps of that, but I don't have that. So then I just put a little bit of simple syrup, and this is just equal parts sugar and water. The sugar is dissolved in the water. Super easy, and it's a staple in my coffee routine. And then we're gonna top it off with some cardamom. You can freshly grind your cardamom. I don't ever do that, just because I think this is easier. So we just sprinkle that all over the top of our espresso. Now we're going to set this aside and we're going to steam our milk. So I'm using the Oatly Oat Barista milk. This is my favorite milk of all time. Love it. Yeah, so we're just going to steam this until it's ready. Now that our milk is all steamed, now you just pour in your milk as you normally would. There you have your vanilla cardamom latte with the espresso machine. So good. This is my favorite. I love it so much. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the version without an espresso machine. So we're gonna start off still with our pre-ground espresso. Now you want about 15 grams of espresso for what would be equivalent to a double shot. So I'm just gonna do 2 scoops with my 7 gram scoop, and that'll be around 14 or 15 grams. And we're actually gonna scoop this into our French press. And while we're doing that, we're gonna heat up some water. do that however you want. I have my electric kettle over there, but you can always use your stove or your microwave, or whatever your preference is. So we're gonna put 2 scoops of espresso into our French press. And of course, if you don't have that 7-gram scoop, it's about a tablespoon. It's a little bit more, so you can do like 2.5 tablespoons, or you can weigh it out on your scale. Really, whatever works. You just want about 14 grams or a little more than 2 tablespoons of espresso powder. This is where I will be using my scale. You can eyeball it, but we're gonna use the scale. So first we're gonna put 15 grams of hot water over our 15 grams of espresso powder. I said that wrong. I don't know why I said 15. That's what you want of the espresso powder. I meant 70 grams. That is a big difference. Okay. You wanted to put 70 grams of water onto your espresso powder. And I gotta grab a spoon. So once your 70 grams are in there, you're just gonna stir it up. And then you will put your lid on top and wait for about 30 seconds. And while we're waiting, we can get our milk started. So for this one, I'm just gonna use whole milk because I don't need 2 lattes and oat milk's expensive. So we're gonna do whole milk, and we're gonna put it in our mason jar, and we're gonna put it up to the 200-gram line. You can do, or milliliter line. You can do however much milk you want, but for this we're gonna do 200. And then actually into the milk, we're gonna put all of our toppings. So just a little bit of vanilla. A little bit of simple syrup. And then we're gonna save the cardamom for putting on top of the espresso. Now it's been about 30 seconds, so we're just gonna press our espresso and put it into a mug. It smells very strong. This is probably stronger than making it with an espresso machine. And then we're just gonna put our cardamom on top of the coffee that we made. Or what we could coin as faux espresso, because it's very similar to espresso, but not quite. Then we're gonna screw the lid onto our mason jar. Then we're just gonna shake it up until it gets super foamy. As you can see, it has pretty much doubled in size. We're just gonna take the lid off, and then we're gonna pop it in the microwave in 30-second increments until it is hot enough. Okay, so now that our milk is hot enough, you'll see that the bubbles deflated a little bit in the microwave, and that's totally okay. I'm just gonna transfer this into my milk pitcher. You can put this directly into the mug as well, but I want to try to pour something. I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, it's not gonna work. This is very thin. But if you do have a milk pitcher, it does still help because it allows a lot of those bubbles to deflate. So now we're just gonna put that into our faux espresso. And there you have a vanilla cardamom latte made without an espresso machine. It's also very good. This one is a little bit sweeter than the espresso one. I might have just put more sweetener in it on accident, but either way, still delicious. And yeah, so there are both lattes. Well, and I hope you all have a great day. And yeah, bye.